What is the difference between a luxury wedding planner and an event designer? Do you need to hire two separate people, or is it okay, preferable even, to just hire one person who can do all of it? We're going to talk about that today. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. My name is Andrea Eppolito, and we are here celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. If you are a lover of all things weddings, events, lifestyle, and just living beautifully, welcome to the channel. I am thrilled to have you here. Now, I am a luxury wedding planner and event designer. In my role, I do both the wedding planning and the event design. And at the end of the video, I'm going to explain why. But if you are a couple and you are out there wondering, what exactly do you need? What can you expect when you bring these people into your life? I'm going to give you great information today that's going to help you make a really informed decision. So first, let's talk about a wedding planner. What exactly does a traditional wedding planner do? A wedding planner's primary role is to handle the coordination and the logistics of your wedding. They are supposed to manage all of the different things, all of the different people. So what does this mean? This means that they are going to be involved in suggesting and booking your vendors. It means that they are going to be working on your timeline creation. It means that your wedding planner will be managing your budget, making sure that everything runs smoothly on the day. The second thing that a wedding planner is really going to focus on is vendor communication. Your wedding planner is going to serve as your primary liaison between you and all of the other people that are eventually going to touch your wedding. So you will communicate with your wedding planner. Your wedding planner will then go review the contracts. They will have the conversations and they will funnel the information out to all of the other people on the team, whether it's the venue, the florist, the photographer, the videographer. The third thing that your wedding planner is primarily responsible for is the day of execution of your event. So exactly what this means is they take the timeline and they make sure that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen, when it's supposed to happen, and that you don't miss anything. So day of execution, your wedding planner should be checking in vendors. The chairs were supposed to arrive at noon. Did they get here? The flowers and the bouquets were coming at 2. Have they arrived? Is everything set up? We have escort cards to put out. Are they properly placed? And then the fourth thing that your wedding planner is going to do is they're going to problem solve for you. So let's say that they place the escort cards and all of a sudden your mother comes in and says, "Oh my God, your uncle bought a date. We weren't prepared." Your wedding planner is going to help make sure that there is an actual seat and a meal for that person. Perhaps somebody that was giving a toast is now sick. Your wedding planner is going to fix the timeline, either remove them or adjust, and make sure that everybody knows so that the DJ doesn't now announce them. And the last thing that your wedding planner is going to do is your wedding planner is going to offer you advice and guidance. Now, this is really important, especially from an etiquette perspective. There are so many things, especially as you get into the luxury space of planning, where you're going to be wondering, is it okay to do this? Is it appropriate to do that? What should I say on the invitation about it being adults only? How can I handle these questions? Your wedding planner is going to guide you through that so that you have the experience you want without, unfortunately, upsetting someone too much or making an etiquette mistake. These jobs, these tasks are completely different from what a wedding designer is going to do. A wedding designer is primarily concerned with the visual aesthetics of the day. What does it look like? And so I have always said, it's not about the stuff, it's about how the stuff makes you feel. Design is not just how something looks, it's how it works. And so from a visual standpoint, as a designer, my job is to go in and say, I know my clients. I've taken the time to really see who they are. I understand what they want to communicate as a couple. And then I am starting to pull in all of the different elements, the decor, the lighting, the flowers, the colorway, the tonality, the materiality, all of the pieces that are going to give us our overall design. The second thing that I'm going to do when it comes to event design and decor is I am going to source and find the people that we need in order to produce it. Being a designer doesn't mean that I actually produce it. I will design a centerpiece. I don't actually make it. And so in this particular case, I am going out and I'm saying, this is the vision. This is how we're drilling down. And then I am pulling together the people that I know and that I trust that can bring that vision to life. The third thing I'm doing as a designer is I'm collaborating with those vendors, because if I have a florist who is so brilliant, who's so wonderful, who's such a genius with the way that they manipulate blooms, I definitely want to give them an opportunity to look at things and say, do you have suggestions? Do you have thoughts? What do you think about the way that we have laid this out? And I'm making sure that our vendors communicate with each other. A beautiful centerpiece doesn't really have any value if I don't light it properly. And so I am making sure that my lighting artist is talking to my rental company about how high the table is, so that my florist can then set the flowers in a way that the light hits them beautifully and they pop against everything else in the room. I am working on custom elements. I always say I stand for what is next, not for what's now. I want to surprise and delight and really blow my clients away. And a lot of times that means going in and saying, I want something that has never been done before. I want the chair to be this high, not this high. I want the fabric to feel a certain way in my hands. And so I am actually working with producers to get mock samples made, to get renderings done, and then to actually make all of these incredible pieces that will eventually come in and lead us to number 5, which is the total venue transformation. When you walk into one of my weddings, I don't want it to look like anything else that you have seen, especially if over time I get to do weddings for more than one member of a family, more than one member of a friend circle. I had the really unique opportunity of doing 2 weddings somewhat back to back for 2 different couples. And there was a table that was at both weddings. And when I walked in, they were like, this is my second Andrea Eppolito wedding, and I can't believe we're in the same ballroom, because the venue was so transformed by the lighting, by the color, by the tables, by the fact that in one wedding, we orientated everything going this way, and in another wedding, we orientated it this way. Design is really about telling a story. It's about answering questions and solving problems. It's about communicating and taking your guests on a journey. And it's so important to me that I operate as both the wedding planner and the event designer, because the ability for the team to produce the design is solely focused on the logistics. And so in order to put in carpet, I need to be managing the logistics of the venue. I need to be managing the timeline. I can't trust that somebody else knows that we've got carpet going down at 6 a.m. and then I'm not going to have a florist trying to come in and move through that room. So working as both a planner and a designer, I have a unique sightline into both of the elements. I have what it looks like, what it feels like, and how it works. And so offering myself as somebody who specializes in wedding planning and event design gives my clients a greater opportunity to have a successful day, because I am the hub that does everything. There are some planners that don't enjoy design and they would rather collaborate with a true artist and a creative. There are some creatives that do not care when your photographer is showing up. They don't care about the DJ. The electric is a bore to them. If you fall in love with one of these artists, then yes, you should absolutely hire 2. Look at the people that are in your circle. Ask yourself what really matters to you, and then make your hiring decisions so that you are completely certain in every step of the way that you have the right person providing you with the right insight and the right service at the right time. I hope this helped explain what is the difference between a wedding planner and an event designer. If you as a couple have any questions about planning your wedding, especially if it's in the luxury space, please go ahead and leave them below. If you are just getting into the industry, I would love to hear from you as well. I love the wedding space. I love what I do. I love who I do it for, and I love who I do it with. This channel is a celebration of the industry and is here specifically for you. So thank you for spending your time with me. We'll talk again soon.